Hi guys, this is Diane. This is a Monday morning and we have some big fat snowflakes coming down outside. I don't think they're going to last. I think it's supposed to turn to rain in an hour or so. But later in the week we're going to get hit with some real snow. Anyway, I think I'm going to stick to some simple projects until Christmas is done. So what I'm going to do today is some glue books. I started by making the one cover yesterday. I love this. I just love the way it all looks. This is a Childcraft book from 1980, I think. And this one's called The Green Kingdom. So it's all about plants and things like that. So of course the cover is this green. A child had written in red pen, green, right here, in big scrawling letters. So I covered it with this piece of patchwork, and then I had missed a little bit over here because I was making sure this part was covered. Actually, it's written in green. You can see a little tiny bit of green ink right there. So I scooched this over, and then I uncovered something over there. So I ended up putting a doily there, but I like the way it looks. This old safety pin was on the back of this quilt piece, which I hadn't noticed until I went to cut it up for this, so I just moved it to the front, and you have an old safety pin there too. Since I don't do a lot of, I don't do any embellishing on the pages of a glue book, I try to do something a little special to the cover with the fabrics that I use on the spines or the embellishments. So this one is I believe it's a decorator fabric. It's quite heavy, like a duck cloth. It was just a remnant that I purchased, which is how I like to get them. It gives me a much better price, and I just have a variety of these heavier fabrics that I like to use on spines. And then I used this piece of pleated twill, and I think that adds a really special touch to it. And then of course the patchwork and the doily adds something special to the front. It's a 2-inch spine. I will be covering that with some paper. I haven't chosen that yet. So I'm going to make some more covers, and thought I'd bring you along. So I'm going to make 3 glue books that will be in my shop. I had pages out for this, so I'm saving some of the pages for the books so I can put them in, and then also give you, I don't know where I put the pages that I pulled out for this, but they're around here somewhere. And I will give you some pages that aren't sewn into the book that you can cut images out of to use and glue on the pages. So of course there will be some, here they are, I think. Oh, this is so cool. Right at the beginning of the book there was this whole series of pictures of what is happening in this little burrow for the chipmunk, and what's happening in the ground and in the air above. So I'm going to try to incorporate them. It's quite a few. You can see how the changes are happening above ground and below ground. So I thought that was a really neat way to instruct children. So I have those and some other pages that are going to be given to you. There's even some more of those chipmunk pages. There he is hibernating again. But these are great. So I'll just be sending you some pages that you can cut up if you purchase this journal. I'm also going to be using this one, another botanical-based book. And this one is not vintage. This is the only one that's not vintage, and it's got really pretty images. I'll use the fly leaves as pages and some of these pages as pages, and I'll include some that you can cut up. Sorry, my tablet is notifying me of something. And then I have this gorgeous gourmet cookbook, and I don't have the pages for this one, but I did keep the fly leaves. so I'll use those, and I'll put some book pages in here. So I was cutting my covers apart in preparation for building the covers with a new spine. I wanted to give them a 2-inch spine, and I started cutting this, and all of a sudden I thought, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to cut this spine off. So then I didn't know what to do because I had already started cutting it. But look at that gorgeous spine. So we're going to work on this together. I have my chipboard cut. I already had it cut to 2 inches, and it works well. I may have added 1/8 of an inch to it maybe, but I think I'm just going to leave it. You know, if I had done it with this in mind, I may have added 1/8 of an inch. Maybe I should. Let me grab another piece of chipboard. Thankfully, I just got another bundle of chipboard from Amazon. If you would like, I can try to leave the link for the chipboard that I use from Amazon. That's 1/4 of an inch, which might be too much. Let me just see. I'll just knock some stuff on the floor. Yeah, it looks like 1/8 of an inch is all I need to go above and beyond the 2.5 inches. Did I say 2 inches or 2? I'm making the spines 2.5 inches. But this one will be 2 5/8. So right there. Was I saying something and interrupted myself? Don't remember. Oh, the chipboard. I don't remember the weight of it. I'm terrible with remembering numbers. But I looked and looked and looked the first time I had to order chipboard, because I didn't have to order it for a long time because I had gotten a stash of it from a friend who didn't want it anymore. And it was 12 by 12. But I had no idea what the weight of it was or anything like that. So when I had to order more, I really looked at the listings and compared and read reviews and everything. And I ended up ordering this weight, whatever it is. And it worked well, so now I just have to go to my order history. So I will try to remember to link this particular chipboard if you're interested in acquiring some. My sister's, I don't know if this is my sister's, but we were just messaging some silly stuff this morning, so that might be them continuing. I'm glad I have my sisters. They and my daughter are my best friends. So I went to my one sister's house on Saturday. She lives an hour away from me. She's the furthest sibling from me, so that's not bad. But her littlest grandbaby just turned 1. So my son and my granddaughter and I went to the birthday party. She likes to do a meet and greet whenever she gets a new grandchild, especially since most of her children don't live around here. So when they come, they bring the new baby. She has a meet and greet for all the family to come and meet the new member of the family. Well, this one lives close to her, but because of quarantine, we were not able. The baby was born, obviously, in December last year, because she just had her first birthday, but my sister had planned the meet and greet for, I think, March, February or March, for when some of the other boys, her other boys, could come. So anyway, we couldn't have it because of quarantine, lockdown. So, and I had met Maisie, the little baby, this summer. I got to meet her once, but I see pictures of her on Facebook all the time. I would definitely be able to pick her out in a crowd. I don't know why I did that. I could have just used glue. In fact, I will, because I will use this to attach the Tyvek to that side. So I'm just going to glue it down in there, which is what I intended to do. So anyway, I was talking too much. My son and I went to the birthday party. His wife had to work. My daughter had to work. But we went, and so I got to see my sister and a couple of her boys. She has 5 boys. Actually, I got to see 3 of them. One that lives several hours away came, and I did not expect to see him, and it was so nice to get to see them. He and his wonderful wife and adorable children. So we had a good family time. And my son doesn't get to see his cousins very often, so he stayed for a long time. And of course, I came with him, so I stayed too. So it was nice. We got to have dinner with him even. The party was at noon, and we were there till 6, a little after 6 maybe. I thought I had a piece of Tyvek already cut, but I don't see it here, so we're just going to cut another one. It seems like I'm always cutting more Tyvek, and I'm like, what happened to the Tyvek that I already cut? I cut apart an envelope, and it should be good for 3 or 4 journals. But it seems like every time I have to cut open another envelope. I'm sure that's not true, but that's what it seems like. So you see, I just glued down the chipboard within the spine, and now I'm going to reinforce this part where the crease is with some Tyvek, and then I will put fabric over it on the inside, and then I'll have to do something to patch where I slit it. But since I had to patch a damaged Reader's Digest book cover when I did those color project ones, it had a crack in it on the outside, and I had to patch that up. So I think I know what I'm going to do here. And my granddaughter, my youngest one, is going to be 10 next week. Her birthday's like 4 days before Christmas. So then all my grandchildren will be in the double digits for age. Oh boy. Life keeps marching on, and I get older and older. So, of course, I cut the Tyvek envelope to extend over onto the book cover, and that's going to reinforce the bend. This is a vintage book. I don't know the age because I don't have those pages anymore. So since I've already added the tape to that, I'm just going to add tape to the edges of the book. That's what I'm going to do. Here it is. I bought this by mistake. It's 1/8 inch. I want the 1/4 inch. Sorry. So I'm going to have my grandkids come over, the ones that live near me. Sorry, I have a froggy throat today. going to have them come over on different days this week to help me with cookies. Of course, I could do it quicker by myself, but I'm going to have Adam, who's 14, and his friend from church, she's 15. They don't get to see much of each other because Adam's been quarantined with his family for over a month, and now they're free. But they just don't have the youth activities at church like they used to. So anyway, and they're both being schooled at home, so they really need some social contact. So I'm going to have the two of them come Wednesday if the weather's good. That's when it's supposed to start snowing. So if it's not too bad, I'll have them come on Wednesday. The other days just didn't work for one reason or another for them and their families. And we are going to make chocolate crinkles cookies, which I love. They kind of taste like brownies. And then on Thursday, if the roads are passable, I'll have the two younger ones, the two 10-year-olds, come, and we are going to, I already made roll-out cookies and cut them out and baked them, and they're in the freezer. So we're going to frost and decorate them this week. So with all the Christmas stuff amping up, I figured I would just start working on some simpler projects. So I'm doing these glue books, and then I think I will make, I have a couple that I want to make for me, so I'll have to choose one of those. This is the one that I cut. But they would, either of them would be simple, not very embellished. So now I just need to put some fabric on the inside to cover that Tyvek. I've got quilt pieces. Well, I don't want to use anything too fancy on the inside because it's gonna, the signatures will be there. I'll just glue that down, I think. I was debating on whether I wanted to trim that or just glue it. You will be able to see the fabric, of course, but I like to use the quilt pieces and stuff like that on the outside. So I will pick something out to put on the inside. It's a brown cover, so I think it will be just about perfect for it. This is not going to wrap around here, and it does stick out just a little bit. Somebody's calling me. Nope. See, I remembered to turn my phone off this time. Turn the sound off. But my Fitbit vibrates. But it's nobody I want to talk to. Okay, what was I thinking? I want to just put some ink on there just in case it shows. At the very edge. pretty book. I bought it a couple years ago, I think. So I'm sure the pages have been removed and distributed in some of the vintage book page bundles that I've sold. Okay, so we'll put some fabric here, and then we will do something to that split in the outside. Not split, cut. I deliberately cut it because I wasn't thinking. So this is not quite straight. I'm going to tear it so it will be straight. And I don't mind frayed edges there. Oh, did I cut it too short? You've probably noticed I've been stepping up, getting my vintage items from flea markets listed in the shop, because I feel like I'm not going to get everything listed before flea market season starts again, and I've got to get them out of my house. So I cut it just a tiny bit too short there. I'll just have to put some ribbon or something at the bottom. So what I have in the works now that will be the next item to list in the shop are some vintage aprons. I had apron bonanza this summer. So I've got them all ironed and ready. Thought I had a piece of brown ribbon. Probably just used it. Oh, it's on this card. And I think I'll put some sewing patterns in the shop at the same time that I do the aprons. And there was something else. Oh, vintage gift wrap. I bought a pretty big bundle full of old gift wrap, so I just have to get that sorted and cut into pieces, and I think I'll move that out. So those three things would relieve some of the congestion where I store my items that are going to be listed. So maybe they won't all be spilling out everywhere once I get those things out. I have a couple areas in my office space that I put items, and it's overflowing. Some stuff is sitting on the floor, and the office isn't that big. Okay, so there's the inside, and I'll leave the end papers, and I'll probably put something along the frayed edges there. Well, let's look at this. So I'm not going to be able to use a special fabric on the spine because I want to leave that spine there, but I'm going to patch it. I can use this to patch it Or do I want to use patch, this old rustic patchwork, or something a little more elegant, because this is an elegant cover. Sometimes I like the juxtaposition of rustic and elegant. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to glue some fabric that will span that slit. I have these strips of fabric. Maybe I'll do something like that. I think I like that fabric better. Looks like it's got a pagoda right there, but I'll cut it so it's just the flowers. Somebody sent me this strip in a Happy Mail. Let's glue this down first. I have 17 orders to take to the post office today, so I want to say thank you to all of you who ordered this weekend when I listed my last batch. All the green stamps are gone. I still have a little bit of the lace and the crochet doily motifs, which, if you notice, I put one of them right there. So I like to go to the post office early in the day, so I'll be going pretty soon. Post office opens at 8:30, but my friend has space in the little shop across. It's like a little vendor's shop where vendors can rent space and sell. Like some people have Avon. Well, one person has Avon, and somebody else has some jewelry that they sell, but a lot of it is used. My friend sells glass pieces that she gets at auctions and stuff, but she also finds lots of books and paper items at these auctions, and so I go over there and check them out sometimes, and I bought quite a few things from her, and sometimes she just gives me stuff. So anyway, she said she has a book that she threw away, and her husband pulled it out, and he said, "Look at this. Diane would want this." So I told her, just bring it to the shop tomorrow. She's there today, so I'll be right. It's right across the street from the post office, so I'll just go over there. But I have to wait till they're open before I go to the post office today. So now all I have to do is add something along the edges there. I've got a few possibilities here. So I've got this little decorative trim. That's pretty because it's got the gold in it for there and the brown. Yeah, I think we'll just go with that. Let's not even try the other things. And after I go to the post office on Mondays, I almost always have things to mail on Mondays because I list stuff Friday, Saturday, or Sunday most often. So I go to the post office and then I get my groceries. So then I can spend the rest of the day in here. Making glue books. I was just going to make them without having the video and then surprise you with them. And here, these are in my shop now. But since I had to repair this cover, I thought I'd bring you along for that. So now you're not going to be surprised. When I first started doing this, I didn't do videos until I had a journal that was completely finished. Then I would just show you the journal and put it in my shop. Okay. So that corrected where I cut. And the book is reinforced on the inside, so it is fine. And it has this little decorative element, and I might add something else. I'll probably put something right there. Might as well put another one of those little doilies there. Okay. There's that cover and that cover. It's not the piece. Well, I had a piece already cut for the spine for that. Jeepers. I didn't make a mess in here till today. I had these just all set out, nice and neat, ready for me to use. Oh, remember I said I knocked a bunch of stuff on the floor? That's what I knocked on the floor. And the pages that'll go with it. Okay. So I will do this the same way. I'm just going to keep working until my time is up or until the camera shuts off because the light's flashing. So I'm just going to, you've seen me do this before many times. Put some red line tape on the edges of the book and around this. Put the tie back on. And with this, depending on what kind of fabric I choose, I like to wrap the fabric all the way around. But on the other one I used, yeah, I did wrap the fabric around that one. If I use a piece of patchwork or chenille or something, I don't necessarily wrap it around. I just fold it over and then cover the inside part with just a strip of fabric. But I haven't decided what I'm going to put on the spine yet. I do enjoy selecting fabrics and trims for the covers. I think that's really fun. cardboard and Tyvek part. Yeah, have to do it. Just something you have to do to get to the fun stuff. So I have some ideas for kind of series that I would like to do. I don't really want to mention them. Like new series for the new year. So keep that in mind. I'll have some, hopefully I'll have some interesting videos in series in the new year. And cut that little corner straight. Well, I can't get my knife under that right now. Oh, here we go. I think I'm just going to stop the video here before it shuts off on me. So the next step will be to cut my Tyvek and lay it down just like you saw me do. And then select a fabric that will complement the cover. So you will see that when it is done. So maybe I will, do the pages and stuff on camera so you can just see how I make a glue book. I think I've done that before, but it's been a while, so we could do it again. We could do a start to finish glue book series, right? So hopefully that will be the next video, the next step in these glue books. Thank you for watching today and have a creative day. Bye-bye.